The last video got cut off. I was showing you page 3. This is the manual in New York State for child support and when and where it can be modified. It's a big hand. It's a nice handbook, and you can go to. What I'll do is you can go to OTDA.ny.gov. It's the Office of Temporary Disability Assistance, Center for Child Well-Being, Division of Child Support Enforcement. Now, they're supposed to go by all of these sections, but I'm going to pay attention to Section 3. No, I'm sorry, Section 1. Child support services provided. Child support obligations and understanding child support service. Now, none of this applies to me, okay? But they try and use these rules against me because I have a private agreement. But anyway, just to say I had something to do with. I'm under this. I'm going to show you again. October 13th, 2010. The maximum amount of child support was $80,000. I was paying 25% of that. So right then and there, they can't modify it. But they did because New York State gets 66% for every dollar they steal. And being that I have an agreement for direct payments, which I was making right here, you can see all these checks here made out to this is a year's worth of checks right here. See? So I went into family court all confident that I was going to be treated like a man and treated fairly. And this piece of shit, Sudeep Kaur, didn't want to be bothered with this. And I had some moron. Well, I had 3 lawyers. I had to fire all 3 of them because they were all in on it. None of them cared. they just wanted to drag this on as long as they could. I had 15 hearings of this nonsense. 15 hearings over 4 years, and I never had a conclusion. I think I showed you one of my videos. I sent a motion judicial notice. Judicial notice is what you do is you tell the court that there's a specific law that they're supposed to follow or applies. Isn't that funny? You gotta let a court know about a law when they're supposed to know it. But anyway, that's what I did, and I showed that they lack jurisdiction. And under New York CPLR 5015, which is the equivalent to federal law Rule 60. Is when somebody lacks jurisdiction, it could be vacated immediately and voided. And also, I showed that the so-called money judgments that they were collecting on was never entered pursuant to New York CPLR 5016, 22 New York City rules and regulations, whatever that means, 202.48. And an objection I filed. An objection is a judicial review because remember I was telling you these are administrative hearings, so all the administrative hearings has to be judicially reviewed at some point by a judge or somebody to judicially endorse it for it to be a court order. Well, they never do that because they're trying to convince you you're in a court. It's a scam. The whole thing is a big scam. But getting back over here, the only way they could have modified my support is if there's before 2010, October 13th, is there has to be an unforeseen substantial change of circumstances. Like, an act of God almost. That they cannot change your child support agreement. And the person trying to modify it has to show that the needs of the children weren't being met. Well, I was making a payment of $700 every 2 weeks. I'm disabled. I get Social Security, so my ex-wife was getting $1,158 every month from that. And this woman, Sudeep Kaur, still said that I owed $40,000 of back child support. Now, if that's not a crime, I don't know what is. Okay, and let me show you real quickly, because I'm probably running out of video time again. These are the transcripts because there's no stenographer in the room. Okay, look what we got here. No witnesses. No evidence, and this is from September 20th, okay? They tried to start the hearing without me. I was in the hallway. But anyway, look, they redact all of these things. See? Redaction. Anything that was, any critical testimony, they take it and they take it out of here without even telling you why. See? This is how deep this stuff goes. I mean, look at this. This is what I remember. So I said before, she said she can't pose any questions. So I say, you know, I say here, I just want to, what do I do? We have no evidence. There's no evidence entered here. Are you proceeding? Because I asked for an adjournment because they gave me a dismissal on my objection 2 minutes before walking in. So I asked if this is being recorded, because I said, because I have the transcripts in here, in the last 4 appearances, where I ask you questions, you don't answer me. I wonder why. When I ask you to explain things and then they leave it out and I wrote it in there, you ignore my questions. And then she says, if you say to me, and then they have it censored out, meanwhile I'm representing myself, and when I ask you questions, you ignore me. So I have a recording of a hearing where it doesn't match the transcripts, where I ask her direct questions and she ignores me. I have one recording where I tried to have her arrested for these forged instruments, because I call these what they are, they're forgeries. And I asked her if these were court orders, the fake court order I showed you before in the last video. This thing here, I asked her, this is a court order, and she wouldn't answer my question. Pretty simple question. I go, is this an order? And she ignored me. So then I said it was a forgery, and she didn't answer. She just went, So anyway, I'm probably going to run out of space here, but anyway, this guy here, Robert Coughlin, he's another guy. He's ignoring all this evidence I showed you over here, that this is all a fraud. So you would think that a lawyer who works for the pension system, who's supposed to be protecting my money, is actually ignoring all this evidence and playing a big part in this fraud. And remember, it's all to get money from the federal government. And you would think the federal government would want to get involved. I actually called the FBI, and the guy on the phone, because you can't go to the FBI, you can't get through the door. You gotta make a phone appointment, which is pretty comical. And he was telling me, I said, well, I want to file a civil rights complaint. And he treated me like, oh, not a civil rights complaint. You know, I get these all day. Like, his attitude was like, I get these things all day, you know. And he was trying to insinuate to me that, you know, they can't be bothered with divorce matters. Meanwhile, it's not a divorce matter. I have all this evidence of forgery and fraud. Anyway, you know, I'll let you guys know what's going on. All right. I hope I help somebody. And remember, if they call you for family court and they send you one of these summonses, don't go. Okay? Don't go. Or before you go, you send them a letter demanding that you need to see evidence why they're asking you to show up. Do not go, because once you show up, they got you. Okay, thank you.